ready for an adventure? Because today is the final segment of our Kangaroo Jones adventure together with the stolen stones. Well, I have some good news today. If you really love Kangaroo Jones, we're gonna have more of Kangaroo Jones. Well, if he really made out of the story alive today, not so sure, but let us check out the story and see what happened to Kangaroo Jones and the previous stones. Let's really hope that he'll make it out alive. Let's go.
When we last saw Kangaroo Jones, he had made up his mind that he was going to go back into the tunnel of doom. Jones was determined to rescue the kangaroos and get the sacred stones back. Kangaroo Jones made up his mind that he was always going to do the right thing. He made a decision as a young kangaroo about the same age as you. Today we see Kangaroo Jones living it out and doing the right thing. Kangaroo Jones wasted no time in taking some of the hyenas by surprise. He knocked them out because God has given him the power to have the victory over the enemy. God had given him the power to defeat the things that tried to destroy him. Boys and girls, God will help you do the same thing if you keep your hearts and minds set upon Him. Let God control your thinking. Don't let your circumstances control your thinking. Kangaroo Jones savored the victory of setting the young kangaroos free. Jones was able to defeat every enemy that came his way. Maybe you remember some of these young kangaroos? They were the ones causing trouble instead of praying, remember? I'm certain that they learned their lesson. They were amazed to see Kangaroo Jones and so thankful to be rescued. As soon as Jones cut them loose, they jumped their way back to Kangarooville. Kangaroo Jones made his way further into the tunnel of doom. Finally, he was able to find some of the sacred stones. Jones wondered how important the stones really were. He was uncertain if he should try to find the rest of them. He didn't understand what was behind the sacred stones. About the same time, the mayor of Kangarooville arrived. He had travelled to the tunnel with Kevin Kangaroo. The mayor explained, "Kangaroo Jones, those stones are extremely important. Those stones contain the laws of our land. If we lose those stones, the foundation of what we have built our lives upon will be taken away." The mayor went on, "Kangaroo Jones, I want you to look closely at those stones and tell me what you see." Kangaroo Jones was amazed to discover that each stone was inscribed with one of the 10 commandments. The mayor went on saying, "Listen, our kids need to know the 10 commandments. Our citizens need to know them. They guide our people to know and act on what's right rather than on what they feel like." Kangaroo Jones knew the 10 commandments, but now he knew how important they were for all the people.
Boys and girls, we really need the 10 commandments in our life. Do you see the problems around you? Think how it would be if everyone was doing the right thing instead of doing what they feel like doing. Let's go back to the story. Let's continue.
About the time they found the final sacred stone, the wild hyenas had picked up their trail. The mayor, Kevin, and Kangaroo Jones jumped in a rail cart, hoping for a quick escape. The hyenas grabbed a cart themselves and were in hot pursuit. Kangaroo Jones asked God for wisdom. He needed a plan to get the hyenas off the track. As Jones' cart came around a sharp curve, he was able to grab a loose timber. Jones threw the large timber in the path of the hyenas' cart. Instantly, the hyenas were flying through the air. Kangaroo Jones, the mayor, and Kangaroo Kevin were safe. They thanked God that they were able to get the hyenas off their trail. The entrance to the tunnel of doom was just ahead. So Jones, Kevin, and the mayor ran to get out of the horrible place. They weren't about to waste any time, for they were sure more hyenas would be after them. Sure enough, as they crossed a footbridge, an attack came. Kangaroo Jones, the mayor, and Kangaroo Kevin found themselves surrounded by hyenas. The hyenas licked their chops as they closed in on the trio. Kangaroo Jones whispered, "Grab the railing and hold on." Then, with 3 quick strikes of his sword, Kangaroo Jones cut the bridge in half. The bridge flew apart and the kangaroos hung on. All the hyenas who were on the bridge fell to the bottom of the huge canyon. Again, Kangaroo Jones, the mayor, and Kangaroo Kevin were safe and they thanked God. The remaining hyenas could see that they were dealing with a power that they would never come against. It was the Lord who brought victory to Jones and his fellow kangaroos. The few remaining hyenas were defeated and yelling for help. Suddenly, the hyenas were sorry for what they had done and they asked for forgiveness. Kangaroo Jones wasn't sure if he should help them or not. His first instinct was to push them down the canyon, but the mayor pleaded, "No, Jones, remember the 10 Commandments? We can't do whatever we want. God calls us to do what is right. Whether you feel like it or not, the right thing to do is to help the hyenas." How often do we wish we could get back at the people who do bad things to us? We can't waste our time or lives wishing for harm or death to come to others. God calls us to pray for our enemies. I admit that's not easy to do, but it is the right thing to do. Kangaroo Jones saw God's peace come to the situation. He helped the hyenas back to safety, and it brought a permanent peace for the kangaroos of Kangarooville. Because from that day forward, the hyenas never even bothered the kangaroos again. It was God's peace. The citizens cheered as Kangaroo Jones, the mayor, and Kangaroo Kevin entered the square of Kangarooville. Jones had rescued the young kangaroos and every single one of the sacred stones. Kangaroo Jones realized the importance of the precious stones, and he had a new respect for them. Those stones were a powerful guide to help Jones and all the kangaroos know right from wrong.
So boys and girls, today we have the 10 Commandments as a powerful guide for us to let us know right from wrong when making decisions. Just like Kangaroo Jones, we can't do whatever we want. We need to do what is right. Then if we ask God to lead us when we make decisions, we will do what is right. So boys and girls, I would like to encourage you today to talk to God and ask Him to lead you when you are making decisions, because we want to avoid the mistakes that we will make just by doing what we want, what we feel like doing. Let us not forget about the PowerPoint for today. It is more important to do what is right than to do what you want. We have come to the end of this season of Kangaroo Jones and the Powerful Stones. I hope all of you enjoy this series. I hope to see you again, boys and girls.